It's time to meet your mentors.
Oh!
Hello, everyone. This is KCSB FM in Santa Barbara 91.9. My name is Keon, and you are listening to Meet Your Mentors, where we talk with faculty and staff here at UCSB about who they are, what they do, and life at UCSB. Today is a very nice Tuesday, very sunny, very peaceful, and today is the first day of the NBA season. Wow, that is exciting. The first day of the World Series in baseball, which is very cool. And we also happen, as the best part of today, to have a special guest on our show. He is a professor here at UCSB, a lecturer in the Letters and Science for Ecology, Evolution, and Marine Biology, and in the College of Creative Studies. And he happens to be the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Education in Letters and Science. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. John Latto. Thank you for being here, Professor.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. So, how's your day been so far?
Pretty good.
That's good. And are you enjoying this Santa Barbara weather? It's a little bit hotter than I thought it would be at this time, but it's kind of nice.
I come from England, so I always enjoy the Santa Barbara weather.
Yeah, England is cold and icy sometimes.
Even a bad day here is better than a good day there.
Yeah, true. Thanks for being on the show, and I just wanted to start with a little bit about what courses you teach here. So you teach in the College of Creative Studies and in Letters and Science. So what kind of biology courses do you teach?
I teach a number of different courses, some of them aimed at biology majors and some of them aimed at non-biology majors, so the students are taking them to fulfill their Area C GE requirement. So this quarter I'm teaching the Ecology of Infectious Disease, which is a fun class.
Yeah.
And then in the spring I teach Biology of Non-Infectious Disease.
Oh.
So all the cancer, heart disease, the things you will actually die of.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really aimed at students taking for GE, but because we don't have equivalent classes here for biology majors, I also get about a quarter of the class are biology majors who are interested in the subject. So it makes it an interesting class to teach.
Right.
And I teach a number of intro bio classes. So I teach on the intro bio series for CCS and a little bit, not very much, but a little bit of the intro bio series for EMB.
Right. So I was wondering, for our listeners, what's the difference between the CCS classes and the Letters and Science classes? Because I know CCS is College of Creative Studies. So what is the creative part of it, I guess?
Well, the flippant answer would be for the intro bio series, the difference is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. In that typically intro bio in LNS is 800 students in Campbell Hall. In CCS, it's 20 students. But in reality, the biggest difference is the students themselves. So within CCS, we're pre-selecting students who are, and I'm just going to say lucky enough, they're lucky enough to know when they come to UCSB what they want to do from the get-go.
Right.
And so we put them into intro bio in their first year, and we teach it in a much more research-oriented way. So not just these are the facts we know, but this is how we know them. And as far as possible, what I try and do is these are some of the things we don't know, because that's where it gets really interesting.
Right. So they're specified from the start when they come to college.
And
which is unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
And there are some perks to being in CCS, but it's not really about that. If you have the same goal that we do for you, which for our students is getting into grad school, then it's a good place. But for most students, the exploration that LNS allows you to do, most people need that.
Right.
I needed that when I was in college.
Yeah, I definitely need that. And so that's about some of the courses you teach. So not only are you a lecturer, but you're the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Education. So I was wondering what that job entails.
Just started on September the 1st.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
So, well, I think so. That's what people keep saying, and I'm not too sure yet. Yes, I'm enjoying it so far. It's a combination of helping out with some specific projects that they're working on there, things like the honors program, and a variety of other projects. But also, the part I didn't think I was going to enjoy was, meeting with students who were appealing decisions. And obviously, if they're appealing, they were denied something. They have the right to appeal, and that is addressed by a dean. So I thought that was going to be a fairly, if I could be honest, I thought that was going to be a fairly unpleasant aspect of the job. But in reality, it's a lot like what I've been doing in CCS. It's treating each case individually. We don't make exceptions lightly, but is this one of those cases where we should make an exception to the rules? And so it is interesting.
Mediating some interactions, I guess you could say. And so that covers all three of your positions here. It's a lot of positions, and that is something very cool that you got going. And aside from your on-campus positions, I was wondering what Dr. Latto likes to do in his free time.
Yeah, free time.
If there is any of that.
Not a whole lot. My wife and I have dogs, so walking the dogs, it takes up a surprising fraction of one's free time.
Yeah.
I run. That takes up a surprising fraction of the remainder. I'm not sure I'd call that a hobby.
Long distance?
Yeah, I guess. I did an ultra marathon last year, so guess that counts.
What's an ultra marathon?
Oh, anything longer than a marathon is an ultra marathon.
Couldn't even imagine doing a marathon. So, wow, good for you. I could not do that. Did you have to train a lot for that? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, my wife and I had a sabbatical last fall, and we were in Boulder. And so Boulder's just a fantastic place to do some trail running. And so I did a lot. I was up to about 2 hours a day running. I mean, I won't put it in terms of mileage because in Boulder it's so vertical. I don't think that means very much. But so that was probably the most I've ever run. And so, I got in quite a bit of training for it. But
cool. And do you jam to any music while you're running? Because I think that's where we're going right now. We're talking a little bit about the music that you chose for the song for the show today.
I don't actually. I'm one of those people that doesn't run to
really
music.
No music.
Don't run with headphones, particularly in winter. When it's because I run in the evening, and so it gets dark.
Right.
And I'm not the most, I'm not the most observant person anyway. So probably not great for me to have another distraction and not hear cars and stuff.
Well, cool. I just want to talk a little bit about the songs you chose then. What would you describe the songs as a whole, as a genre, I guess?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I know it's a big question.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just sort of classic rock that's just been, that's had staying power, through the ages, just the artists that are still around, the same ones that were around when I was, in my formative years. And they're still kicking. Neil Young and Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan, and they're still going. And a lot of them are still out there touring as well, which is incredible.
I was looking at them and I was thinking, this is a playlist of songs from artists you do know, and they're just songs you don't know from them. And I think it's a good way to explore some of their less well-known pieces. So I guess we'll play the first one. The first one is Ramada Inn by Neil Young and Crazy Horse off the album Psychedelic Pill. Again, we're here with Dr. John Latto on Meet Your Mentors. This is KCSB 91.9 FM. And here comes Ramada Inn. Take a listen. We'll be back in 5.
so she does what she needs to.
Hey everyone, this is KCSB FM in Santa Barbara. You're listening to Meet Your Mentors. I'm Keon, and we're here with Dr. John Latto from the UCSB, EEMB, and CCS departments. And we've been talking a little bit about music, some of his hobbies, and his positions here on campus. And now we're getting into another part of the show where we're going to talk a little bit about Dr. Latto's background. So you have British roots. I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I was born in a town that you've probably not heard of, St. Helens.
St. Helens.
St. Helens.
Helens.
It's a town near Liverpool.
Okay.
It's probably as close to Liverpool as we actually are to Santa Barbara here, about 13 miles away.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much the same, but much more different to Liverpool than Goleta is to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
So that's where I grew up, and I had an appalling accent, a north of England accent, not a Scouse accent, because accents are far more localized in England, and so the true Scouse Liverpool accent, which some people might be familiar with, is only really from some areas of Liverpool. My accent was just this appalling northern mumbly accent.
What did it sound like?
I can't even do it anymore, but you mumble every word.
Okay.
They all trail into each other, and then every sentence just trails off at the end as you can lose interest. So it's a very... I hope I don't have any tapes of myself when I was younger.
Just delete all of those.
Yeah, because it really is terrible. And it's possibly the worst accent ever for someone who wants to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So that's why my accent changed, not because I consciously tried, but because I was effectively forced to enunciate clearer.
Had to, yeah.
And as you start enunciating clearer, then your accent changes. And so I don't know what it's turned into, but my parents somewhat derisively referred to my accent as a mid-Atlantic accent, which I'm not sure that phrase is widely used here, but in England it's a little bit of a derogatory term. It sort of means your accent is neither here nor there. It's
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle, which is...
Of the ocean.
Not a great thing.
Well, that's still very interesting factoid. I appreciate you talking about that. And so you moved here for your postdoc, and you went to Berkeley?
No, I moved to, I did my postdoc here in Santa Barbara at UCSB in between 1989 and 1991. So it was a much smaller place then, but otherwise it's not changed that much. Just a lot of what was open space and what was parking lots then has been filled in. So that was to 91. Then I went back to England for 5 years. I was a faculty member at the University of Westminster, which is in central London. It's at the foot of the Post Office Tower, if you know where that is, just right off Oxford Street. And then my wife got a faculty position at UC Berkeley. So we decided, well, that's the point at which we got married. I emigrated, quit my job, and so we were then at Berkeley for 10 years until 2007, when we came back to Santa Barbara.
Cool. And you were a lecturer there, too, of biology at Berkeley?
Whilst I was at Berkeley, I effectively transitioned from research to teaching. So when I started, I was what they called an associate specialist, I think I was, which is soft money research. By the time I finished, I was pretty much 100% time teaching, which was largely by choice. I was enjoying teaching more, and I was enjoying research less, not necessarily the research itself, but the endless writing papers and grants, and I never expected to enjoy teaching as much as I did. And then when I came here, there was the opportunity of a full-time teaching position, and greatly enjoyed
Grabbed it, yeah. And as a teacher, you have done some interesting things, and one of them being coming here on KCSB. I appreciate that. And you did a zombie apocalypse debate. Is that correct?
The zombie debate, yes.
The zombie debate. Okay. Could you tell us what that was?
That was a number of years ago now, and at the time I thought the intention was to make it an annual event, and I was definitely contacted once about doing it again, but it never panned out. It was an AS program board event, I'm pretty sure, and it was held in the USAN. There were like 700 students there or something in the evening, and it was a debate between, I think there were 5 faculty members about who should have the last place in their safe house from the zombie apocalypse. And I think there were faculty members from engineering and English, religious studies, communication, and I was representing biology.
So what was your strategy to deter the zombies in the zombie apocalypse?
Well, what
was your winning strategy?
I think I had it easiest because, biologists really do study infectious diseases,
True.
Which have a lot of things in common.
Yes.
And so biologists really do have a lot of practical knowledge that I think could be useful in a zombie apocalypse. So I was able to make a fairly reasoned, factual argument, I think, albeit hopefully entertaining. And now the engineers did have the machinery on their side and the know-to and the building, but
swiveling blades.
Yeah.
To kill the zombies. Yeah.
And I think it was the religious studies professor who brought the chainsaw, but I think his impact was diminished by the fact they wouldn't let him turn it on.
Yeah, I'm sure if he turned it on, it would have sparked some interest then. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Well, yeah, I think we'll go to another song break right now. And this next song is by Leonard Cohen. It's called You Want It Darker. And I was listening to it, and I was trying to pick up on the meaning, and I felt like it was like a servant speaking to his king or something, but I wasn't really sure. Are you?
Oh dear, meaning in a Leonard Cohen song. That's like can of worms right there. Yeah. He puts a lot of religious meaning into his songs, into every song, but I'm not sure they're all about that. Clearly his whole album, which I think is actually out today, is is heavily influenced by his approaching demise, which is a pretty amazing thing for an artist to do, I think. I mean, he's 82. His birthday, I think, was last week. And yet, when he said he was ready to die, I think there was an interview with him in the New Yorker a week or so ago, and he did say he may have exaggerated. So hopefully he's going to be with us for a while longer.
Yeah.
But it's a little dark, the song, I think.
Yeah, a little dark. You want it darker? Yeah, I could see that. And yeah, we're going to have that for you. This is KCSB FM. We're sitting here with Dr. John Latto. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with some advice to students and a little bit more music talk. This is KCSB.
There's a lover in the story, but the story's still the same. There's a lullaby for suffering and a paradox to blame. But it's written in the scriptures and it's not some idle claim. You want it darker? We kill the flame. They're lining up the prisoners and the guards are taking aim. I struggled with some demons, they were middle class and tame. I didn't know I had permission to murder and to maim. You want it darker? Hey, nay, nay, I'm ready, my lord. Sanctified be thy holy name. Vilified, crucified in the human frame. A million candles burning for the love that never came. You want it darker? We kill the flame. If you are the dealer, let me out of the game. If you are the healer, I'm broken and lame. If thine is the glory, mine must be the shame. You want it darker? Hey, nay, 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 nay. Hey, nay, nay, nay. I'm ready, my lord.
Hey everyone, this is KCSB FM in Santa Barbara. This is Meet Your Mentors. I'm Keon, and we're here with Dr. John Latto, a UCSB lecturer and the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Education in Letters and Science. And we've been talking about what he does here and a little bit about UCSB and his background. And now we're getting to the final portion of our show, and we're going to be asking Dr. Latto about his advice for students. And, I just wanted to mention that last song was You Want It Darker by Leonard Cohen. I think, to me, it sounds like a mix between one of Phil Collins' songs and Thriller. And his voice is probably the deepest voice I've ever heard in my life. But, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, so Dr. Latto, I was wondering if you have any advice you would like to bestow upon the UCSB student body.
Wow. That's a tricky one. General advice. I think my advice would be don't expect to be happy all the time. I see a lot of students who feel they have problems and that the only student to have problems. They feel that you're the only person that's not happy here. It's really easy in Santa Barbara to feel that everybody else is having a fabulous time, and it is a really nice place, and everybody is beautiful, and everybody is fit, and everybody, is... But no, they're not. I think a lot of people in college, it takes a long time to find yourself. And it's hard to explain how, you can become more comfortable as you get older. You can become more comfortable in your own skin, I think. And I was trying to think the other day about why I was happier now than I was in college. And I think there's a certain aspect of just becoming comfortable with who you are. And in college, it's so difficult. You're young, there's so much going on, and it's easy to feel unhappy. And there's a lot of people around you struggling with stuff like that. And these days there's so many people to help you as well. So there are a lot of various departments and whatever you call them on campus you can actually reach out to and get help. That's something fairly new, and those things are available to you. So that will be on the side of big picture advice.
Right.
For the sort of smaller picture advice, something I hear a lot of faculty say that I'm going to say it again is that you can go to office hours. You don't have to have a problem in a class. You don't have to wait until the midterm or the final. All of your faculty are people currently. That'll probably change over the next 20 years, but currently they're all people, they're all human beings. They all have an interesting story. Great many of them are doing really interesting research. You can go along to office hours just to find out what they do. You can go along to office hours just to hear their story through life. You can find out what does an economist at a university, what do they actually do in the Department of Economics day to day? How do they spend their day? What does, somebody in engineering actually do? You can go along and ask them.
Right.
And so, office hours, that's time that's been put aside for them to interact with students. And you might not want to do that on the day before the midterm, but all of the other days, they're up for that.
Yeah, professors do a lot more than just lecture. It's true. And, it's okay to feel unhappy. And, do go to office hours, people. Office hours is very important. That about wraps up the show. And thanks for being on the show, Dr. Latto. I appreciate it. And I just wanted to mention one more thing. Bob Dylan is going to be our artist up next that we're going to play, and then we're going to go into a playlist of songs for you guys. This next song is If You See Her, Say Hello. And Bob Dylan recently won the Nobel Prize in Literature, and he has yet to accept it. I was wondering your thoughts on that.
I think that's kind of awesome. I think that's Dylan being Dylan-esque to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would have been a little bit of a betrayal if he'd suddenly been all, somebody else and said something coherent and nice. That would be strange. But I actually fully expect him to turn up to the ceremony and do something really interesting. He has a little bit of a reputation for doing that with awards. I forget all the awards he's won now. Didn't he get a Grammy? And I think he's won an Oscar. I think so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he sometimes turns up and does some pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he says.
Hopefully he does something very sporadic. That'd be interesting to hear about. Anyway, again, this is Dr. John Latto on Meet Your Mentors. Thanks for being on the show, Professor.
Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. It's my pleasure. And now we're going to be playing the rest of our playlist. And this next one is, as we promised, If You See Her, Say Hello by Bob Dylan. This is KCSB.
If you see her, say hello. She might be in Tangier. She left here last early spring. Is living there, I hear. Say for me that I'm alright, though new things come and go. She might think I've forgotten her. Don't tell her it isn't so. We had a falling out, like lovers often will. But to think of how she left that night, it still brings me a chill. And though our separation, it pierced me to the heart, she still lives inside of me. We've never been apart. If you're making love to her, kiss her for the kid who always has respected her for doing what she did. Oh, I know it had to be that way. It was written in the cards. Still the bitter taste still lingers on. It all came down so hard. I see a lot of people as I make the rounds, and hear her name here and there as I go from town to town. And I've never gotten used to it. I've just learned to turn it off. Either I'm too sensitive, or else I'm getting soft. Sundown, yellow moon, I replay the past. I know every scene by heart. They all went by so fast. If she's passing back this way, I'm not that hard to find. Tell her she can look me up if she's got the time.
That is it true that we all have to die. At the top of the stairs is darkness. At the top of the stairs is darkness. Close my eyes and when I looked, your name was in the memorial book. And what had become of all the things we planned? I accepted the commiserations of all your friends and your relations, but there's some things I still don't understand. You were so small, how could you photographs of a summer's day, a little boy's lifetime away, is all I've left of everything we've done. Like a pale moon in a sunny sky, death gazes down as I pass by to remind me that I'm but my father's son. I offer up to you this tribute. I offer up to you this Tank Park salute.
Hey everyone, this is KCSB FM. We're just playing some songs for you on the hour. We had Dr. John Latto on the show, and you just heard Stray Bullet by Bruce Springsteen, The Ties That Bind, The River Collection, that was the album that we just heard, and Tank Park Salute was before that by Billy Bragg, and If You See Her, Say Hello by Bob Dylan was right before that one. Up next is Dead Man Theme by Neil Young, and after that we'll have a couple more, and that's going to take us to the end of the hour. We're just going to have some more songs for you. Again, this is KCSB, I'm Keon, and this is Meet Your Mentors. I hope you enjoy the music.
like bones. Well, they stopped trying to hold him with mortar, stone, and chain. He broke out of every prison. Well, the boots mount the staircase. The doors flung back open. He's not there, for he has risen. He's not there, for he has risen. Some say he once killed a man with a guitar string. He's been seen at the table with kings. Well, he once saved a baby from drowning. There are those that say beneath his coat there are wings. Well, some say they fear him. Some say they fear him, others admire him because he steals his promise. But one look in his eye, never one denies ever having met him, ever having met him. He can turn himself into a stranger. Well, there broke a lot of canes on his hide. He was born away in a cornfield. A fever beats in his head, just like a drum inside. Some say they fear him, others admire him because he steals his promise. One look in his eye, everyone denies ever having met him, 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 ever having met him.
Hey everyone, this is KCSB FM in Santa Barbara. You are listening to Meet Your Mentors, and this is Keon. That takes us to the end of the show. It is 4:57 p.m. on a beautiful Tuesday. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day and tune in next week, Tuesday at 4 p.m. for another edition of Meet Your Mentors. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for listening. The last song you just heard was Black Wings by Tom Waits. And before that was Dead Man Theme by Neil Young. You can find this playlist on kcsb.org by going to the schedule and clicking Meet Your Mentors. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good day. Enjoy your break from work and your break from school. And see you next week. Go Gauchos.